me down in Brooklyn if I lose my life. Push me down the Hudson and turn on the radio. Long Island's owner smiling cause my soul is fine. I did everything for New York.
Yesterday was the International Student Orientation, and basically it was just like a session where they kept telling us about all the things we could do that could potentially get us illegal in the US. We tried for the Dear Evan Hansen standing room tickets, but we got there a little bit too late, so they were sold out before we got there. But what we did manage to get was tickets to Waitress. And Waitress was fucking fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And now we changed locations because a friend arrived and then needed to rush to do things. What else did we do? Yeah, that was pretty much it. I think we wandered about a lot. We took like an extended walk from where the NYU campus was straight down to towards Times Square. I brought Keith to Shake Shack, but he's having a hot dog. But well, and I made him sit outside, so we get this nice little like view though. We found this Think Geek, like a physical Think Geek store, and it was fucking amazing. It was like the nerd's dream come true. Today we are going to IKEA. Max has very nicely offered to give us a ride. In some ways, I'm just taking advantage of the fact that he has a car. But it's also nice to see Max again. Didn't think I would see him much after Berlin, but it's been nice to catch up, reconnect. Today we tried to go and get the Dear Evan Hansen standing tickets again. Little do we know that our train doesn't run the whole stretch on the weekends. So we are now just wandering about Chinatown. So we wandered about and we have found ourselves on the East River. And this pretty area. It would be nicer if it wasn't foggy, but like, you know, beggars can't be choosers. So Saturday was also the Women's March in New York City. Initially, Keith and I were intending to just skip the whole thing, you know, in fear of the whole like getting involved in political stuff. But we ended up meeting Max there. And we got caught up in the whole thing, and we were there for about 2 hours. Saw a lot of very interesting things. It was very overwhelming, you know, the feeling of being in that crowd of people. It really reached a point where like we weren't actually moving of our own accord. We were just kind of being pushed on by the crowd, which was an experience. It was quite an experience indeed, and just to feel the energy of the place and the environment and the surroundings, it's just kind of like it's one of those real moments of like collective effervescence. I know there's been a lot of critique about the Women's March and like a lot of responses to like people who did march, people who didn't march. I think it's pretty cool to have a kind of platform like this to be able to express any kind of like views and stuff like that. I think it's great that there is this kind of freedom of speech, and I'm glad to kind of read about the discourse from people who don't necessarily support the Women's March, but not because they don't support what it stands for, but perhaps the way the topics are discussed. I do feel like it's kind of like an all or nothing kind of environment, or you're either with them or against them. On Sunday, we tried one more time to to get tickets to Dear Evan Hansen. I thought box offices would open at 10 like they usually do. Turns out they only opened at 12, but we got there around like 9:30 anyway. We lined up till 12. Got to know some really nice people along the way. And by the time we actually did get the ticket, we got the last standing ticket. And they offered us a box seat with a partial view. So we bought those 2 tickets. And we did go to see Dear Evan Hansen in the end, which was a fantastic show. I cried so much in the second act. And it was just, the music was brilliant. Ben Platt was absolutely amazing. He was really on it the entire show. It was great. And that was basically our entire Sunday, really. There was a report of a storm coming in over the weekend, so we kind of didn't want to get too caught into it. We got tickets for the matinee, and when we got out of the show, it started raining and everything. So you couldn't do stage door, there really wasn't anything else to do but to like buy an umbrella and go back home and see what food you could make at home, really. So that was our Sunday. Now it's Wednesday, and we have officially started classes for the week, for the semester. And classes have been interesting because, back in Yale and US, everything is seminar based. I haven't really had to sit in a lecture, or at least have my classes be based around a lecture instead of a seminar in a very long time. And so this past couple days has been pretty interesting. I am taking classes in cognitive neuroscience, cognition, multicultural counseling and mental health, and the American musical. I have had classes in all of them except the American musical so far. That's happening tomorrow night. I'm pretty positive about the classes. I think I'm going to learn quite a lot. I am enjoying the fact that they are not graded for me. Last night was our very first rehearsal of the men's glee chorus, and we're preparing to sing 3 songs. Sing Me to Heaven, Hi Barbary, and I Will Sing. I had a real good time. Director John Adorino, he really knows his stuff, and he's got this energy about him that's really, really infectious. It was very fast paced, a lot more fast paced than I'm necessarily used to, but I did enjoy the idea of singing in a group again, since the quartet has been a little bit out of commission these last 2 semesters, kind of. It's been nice to get back into singing. I didn't really think I would be joining any clubs while I was here, but I think I'm going to be quite appreciative of joining this one. Although now I need to figure out how I'm going to buy a suit while I am here, because I did not pack any formal wear at all. So that's gonna be fun. I'm finding a couple like different little quirks about Americans and the American university system in general that I think, as much as Yale and US captures the spirit and the essence of it, I think in terms of the physical, like, people and the environment of it, it's very, very different. Right now we're also kind of ramping up for Chinese New Year this weekend. Keith and I went to this Malaysian restaurant. And we went there primarily because this was the only place I found that was around campus and sold yu sheng. So we're gonna be able to at least do a lo hei for Chinese New Year. And they also had like a beef rendang that I really wanted to try. I didn't manage to learn how to make rendang. Mom insisted that it was too difficult to learn. So it's Chinese New Year for me is always about food, So I really wanted to, at least for the people who are coming, we have like 10 people coming this weekend, and at least for them I wanted to be able to kind of provide that aspect of Chinese New Year for everybody and for myself, really. And so rendang is a big part of it, and I'm gonna hopefully order a tray of rendang, get the yu sheng, and then we'll see how Chinese New Year goes. I still need to buy ingredients to cook some of the dishes that I'm planning on cooking. I haven't really figured out the full menu yet, but we'll get there. Yeah.